Hello and welcome to Introduction to Epistemology, and today we are going to discuss achievement without knowledge. There are many cases where someone gets some achievement without knowledge. For example, we talk same case and we talk about Archie case that she randomly tried to hit the target, and what has happened that if she get the bullseye like we discussed previously in previous example, but that bullseye she achieved not with the help of with her skills, but rather than it's because of the luck that she able to get that skill. So then its success does not count as knowledge because that skill is not used and the luck is involved in that. So if we take a look on achievement without knowledge, so I mentioned in the statement that there are instances of knowledge which do not involve the corresponding cognitive achievement and vice versa. So if the cognitive achievement is not involved, then it is not considered as knowledge. And according to the KA thesis which we discussed, is knowledge is a cognitive achievement. So if what are the two premises in the KA thesis, like the achievement thesis that we discussed before, and then the robust virtue epistemology. So if for example I already give that Archie hit the bullseye, but that bullseye she achieved not with the skills but with the luck, then it could not consider as the achievement. So that is actually explained in terms of knowledge without achievement. So but I mentioned consider a third case in which Archie again select a target at random and skillfully fires at the target and successfully hit that because of the skill. Then obviously when she used the skills, then she get the achievement and hitting the target, and that's known as genuine achievement. So that explain the knowledge without achievement. So when we talk about a robust virtue epistemology, we only consider Archie's success if she used the cognitive abilities and then she achieved the target. So that's actually explained about the robust virtue epistemology in the next slide. But we have another example, and let me discuss. John went to the place, and that place is look like a barn, and he used his cognitive abilities and call, okay, this is a barn, and he make a believe that okay, that this is a barn, and okay, after using cognitive abilities, we can consider that he using the cognitive abilities to think that how barn look like, and after that he got it that this is a barn. But what has happened that when John looked this place more deep into it, he found that this is not actually a barn, but this is actually a barn facet county, which is a fake barn. And intuitively he does not have no knowledge in this case because it's a matter of luck that his belief is true. But it in actually case that this is not a barn, this is a fake barn. And the case like John illustrate that there is a type of knowledge undermining epistemic luck, and we call this as environmental epistemic luck, which is distinct from the sort of epistemic luck in the play in standard Gettier style case, like the case that we discussed before about the sheep in Gettier problem, that when a person look the sheep, she think that there is a sheep far from the place, but in fact actually when the person goes nearby, it's not like it's not a sheep, it's as a stone. But what happened that it is an epistemic luck that actually there is a sheep behind that stone. So we already discussed the Gettier problem before that. But in this case, when John looked the place, John think that okay, this is actually a real barn, and he used his cognitive abilities to tell okay, this is a barn. But what has happened that he when look closely to it, is is not a barn actually. It's look like a barn, but it's a fake barn which is look like a barn. So we call these examples and this example especially as environmental epistemic law, and we explain in this case like that. So this, if we go back to the KA thesis now, when we go back to the KA thesis and we found that okay, we have two premises, like one is that the achievement thesis, and then second one is the robust virtue epistemology and the robust virtue epistemic account of knowledge. So being used to generate a KA thesis, in order to see why such strategies were hopeless, because we need to note in this case, like in Barney case or in Barn case, the counterexample both to KA thesis and more specific robust virtue epistemological claim of knowledge is a cognitive success because of the cognitive ability. After all, we know that okay, that the Barney exhibit the cognitive achievement, but it does not correspond to that knowledge, because using his cognitive abilities, he said that okay, this is a barn, but actually in actual fact actually this is not a barn, this is a fake barn. So I use in this case, I changed the name of Barney to John to explain this example, because I don't want to confuse with two words. One word there is a barn and the second word there is a Barney. Barney is actually a John. So I use actually the word John in this case, not Barney, because we use the word one is barn, which is actually a house or structure, and the Barney is actually a person which is mentioned in the textbook. So I changed the word Barney to John to explain to you and to make it more convenient to understand that how can we differentiate between Barney and barn, because they in the textbook they use both words which is quite similar in sound. So Barney and John is actually a same person, and if you read the textbook you will find it. So I don't want to make it confused, whereas the barn is actually the structure or house like structure which they give as an example. So if even you have any confusion, you can ask me through email. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.